What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. Lauren here. If you'd like to type in the chat box to let us know you're here. It'll be a 45-minute grounding flow. As always, if you feel like you're going to need props, feel free to grab blocks or a blanket. Yep. Let me scooch those shoes out the way for a cleaner. There we go. A little bit. Sweet. All right, make sure you have water on hand. We'll give it about 2 more minutes until 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to play music on your end. Get nice and cozy. I think we have enough lights. Yeah. All right. Okay. Give it a few more moments. Taking a deep breath in and out. All right. It is 1 o'clock, my sweet friends. Let us go ahead and get started. You are going to meet me on your back. If you would like some support, feel free to grab a blanket or a bolster, and we will get started. I was going to say something, but we're good. So meet me on your back. So a way that you could support this starting position is we're going to take our feet, soles of the feet together in a butterfly. And I can place blocks underneath my knees. And then I'm going to lay down. Feel free to open up to a cactus arms. Spend a few moments here just grounding into the practice. Feel the entire spine pressing into the floor. Allowing your shoulders to melt into the floor. Allowing the jaw to soften. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. If you'd like to play music on your end, feel free to do so to accompany this practice. Taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you are watching this live or today, it is Thursday. It's the beginning of a new month, the beginning of the last quarter of the year. And so just keeping that theme with us, new beginnings, starting over, freshness, perhaps excitement. How can we bring that to our practice, right? We show up to our mat, we do similar moves, right? A lot like our daily life. We kind of do the same thing every day, but how do we make each day special? How do we find something good to look for or to create? Just starting to bring attention to the body, any sensations that you feel, maybe in the hips or the inner thighs, any tightness in the shoulders. Just start to breathe space into the body. Bring attention and awareness to the breath, perhaps placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Just a reminder of this sweet gift of life, of breath, of vitality and energy. And that when we move in this practice, there's always breath and energy circulating through the body, right? We're way more than just flesh and bones, right? There is life happening in this body. And start to set your intention for the rest of the day. Maybe, the later half of the work day, but how do we want to be the rest of our day? Maybe you have other stuff on your agenda. How can we show up as our best self? As I was getting ready today, it just came to my mind that I don't move because I have to. I move because I get to. And how can that mentality kind of drive you in our day to day? Right, my friend? Slowly release your hands off the belly and the chest. You're going to take your hands to lift your thighs. Boop, carefully off from the floor or the blocks. Remove the blocks if you're using them. And then just press your feet into the floor, feeling this groundedness of the soles of my feet pressing into the earth, spreading the toesies nice and wide. And then let's reach those arms up and give it a nice roll of the wrist. Open up the fingers. Reach it up. Nice big stretch. Exhale, extend the legs out. Maybe a nice yawn. Good. And then let's hug the knees into the chest, reaching for the elbows or the wrist. And start to rock side to side. What do you feel in these hips? Maybe some tightness, some crunchiness. Let's roll the ankles here, hands on the knees, and reverse. And then let's lift our head and shoulders up. We'll do like a quick Pilates abdominal warm up. So just extending one leg, let it hover off the floor, draw the knee into the chest, and let's switch. Drawing the navel in, switch, single leg stretch. Let's do that 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring the hands underneath the thighs, draw the navel in. Let's roll forward and back. Woo, a few times, all the way up to seated position. Hey, if you're just joining us. So sitting up nice and tall, hands on the thighs. Draw the ears back a few inches. Feel your sacrum root down into the mat. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Good. A few more times, just feeling a little more grounded into the space, into the practice. Eyes are closed if you feel comfortable to do so. Remember what we said about how we want to show up the rest of today, this energy and this life force in our body. If you're ready, open up the eyes, take in the space, take in each other, right? We may be virtual, but I still feel connected to you when I see, the certain number of people that are here. I feel like I really am with you. All right, from here, let's just do some nice shoulder rolls. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, back and down, just a few times. Opening up the body and the shoulders. And reverse, take it back, up and forward. 2 more. 1 more. And then take your left ear to your left shoulder. Nice stretch of the neck. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, other ear to the other shoulder. And then lift up through center. Slowly draw the chin to the chest. Nice stretch of the back of the neck. Shoulders still going down the spine. Good, and then inhale, lift up throat chakra towards the sky. Good, neutral spine. Inhale, reach up. Let's take our first twist. Exhale, take opposite hand to the opposite knee. Twist over, looking over the back shoulder. And then look back towards the screen. You're going to lift your back arm. We're going to take a nice counter stretch here, keeping the sit bones into the floor, peeling open in the rib cage. Good. Take that hand to the opposite knee. Now, if this is not available for you, feel free to come in a little bit more. And then you're going to draw the navel in, nice seated cat. And then come back through center, lift your hands off the knees, take your arms to Garudasana, eagle arms. So you can do this, or you can interlace the hands, right? So one hand into the other palm. You want to draw the shoulders down the back, intentionally lift up through the fingertips, and we'll flow through this. Inhale, lifting it up. Shoulders down the back as your elbows lift up towards the sky. I'll turn this way so you can see me. Exhale, round in the spine. Feels so good. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Good, and then slowly release. Good. Now, draw the hands together. Let's uncross the leg so that the other leg is on top or underneath. And we'll take this all on the other side. Inhale, lift your arms up. Reach up to the sky. Exhale, take opposite hand to the knee. Twist over, look over the back shoulder. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Sit up nice and tall. And then look back towards the front of the room. Lift your back arm up. Take a nice counter stretch. So your hips are going to want to lift up here. You want to anchor them down into the floor. Peeling these ribs apart. Good. Take that hand to the opposite knee or the shins, whatever's available. Draw the navel in, taking a seated cat. Allowing the head to be a part of that. Stay with me, stay present. Inhale, lift up. Release your hands off the knees. Take Garudasana arms. So the arms are still crossed. You can take it like this, or you can hook one hand in front of the other. And I'll turn this way so you can see me. You can take some seated cow cats, shoulders down the back, fingertips up. Inhale, lift up. Oh, feel a nice stretch in the bottom of the shoulder. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Good. Release the arms. Shake it out. Good. Bring the soles of your feet in front of you and then bring the fingertips back. Let's lift our chest up. I call this my Care Bear stretch. Right? Soles of the feet here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Release. And let's just do a slight forward fold over the legs, releasing the lower back. All right, being kind to the body and the mind, right? If you feel tired physically, mentally, definitely take it easy. I know that Thursdays feel super different from Tuesdays, right? So just honoring where you're at. Slowly roll it up. And then for funsies, heel toe your feet together. I want to go straight into a boat pose just to wake us up. Lean the body back. Keep that nice long spine, right? So I'm not rounded here. Draw the navel in and then lift the legs up so that they're parallel to the mat. Palms up, breathe here. Feel free to extend one leg and then the other. Just engaging the legs here, waking up those quads, inner thighs, lower belly. Good, and then exhale, release. Beautiful. From here, you're just gonna swing your legs around. We're gonna take it to tabletop. So hands directly underneath your shoulders, middle finger straight on, and spread those fingertips nice and wide. Claw the tips of the fingers into the floor. And then on your own, take your own cow-cat. Drop the belly. Breathe. Notice what you feel. Exhale, draw the navel in, round in the spine, right? We do this almost every class, but how can we find something new? 2 more times on your own. Can you go a bit further? Can you create more space in the body? Good, and then find that nice neutral spine. Let's extend one toe back or 1 foot back and then anchor the heel away from you. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, just get that nice little stretch in the back of the leg. Good, and then I'm going to switch. Pull the heel down, nice stretch in the back of the leg. We're going to swivel to a variation of a side plank, not a full one. So I'm going to swing this shin, boop, off the mat, and I'm going to take it to the side, right? So hand underneath the shoulder, reach the arm up, and if I'd like, I can lift that top leg to engage the back leg. But here, you're lifting up towards the sky, breathing, stretching. Good. If your leg is up, feel free to bring it back down. And then exhale. Come back to your table. Shaky, shaky. We're going to do that right away into the other side. I'm going to swing the other shin off the mat. Rotate it so that I'm in a variation of a side plank. Make sure that shoulder is over the wrist. And look up towards the sky. It's a nice stretch here. Feel free to lift that top leg for added heat and intensity. Breathing in and breathing out. Lift, lift, lift. Good. Exhale, come back. Bring the legs back underneath you. This time, take your knees wide as the mat, toes to touch. We're going to sink the hips back. Notice what you feel. All right. If you have some knee crunchy stuff happening, feel free to roll up a blanket or a bolster, place it underneath your hip bones. And we're going to take our first child's pose of the day. Reaching the fingertips forward, resting the forehead down. And here, right, if we were in person, I'd be coming around, dropping your hips a little bit further into the heels. You want this same energetic feeling here. Stretching of the spine, of the lower back, softening in the jaw. Breathing in and breathing out. Just taking a moment and feeling gratitude just for yoga, just for this practice. I didn't find my yoga practice till much later. I was a dancer. I'm still a dancer, but I didn't really get into yoga until my late 20s. And I'm so grateful for this practice. It's such a good counterbalance for all this other stuff that I do in my body. Inhale, lift the head up. You're going to exhale, lift the hips up, and then bring your knees back underneath you, sweet friend. And then let's take a nice puppy pose. I'm going to walk those hands forward while the hips stay above the knees. And we're going to take a nice shoulder stretch. So different from child's pose. Child's pose is more for the back, and puppy pose more for the shoulders. If you have it in your body, feel free to bring the chest or the chin to the floor to go a bit deeper in those shoulders. Good. Slowly lift your head up. Shift your weight and bring the hands back underneath you. All right, this time you're actually going to step out into your first plank today. So lift it up. Find that nice long spine. Press away from the floor. Keep the back of your neck neutral. We have a tendency to want to crank it up. I invite you to keep your focus down and forward. Breathing here. Feel it. Exhale, lift your hips up, first downward facing dog. And as always, walk your dog. So your downward dog doesn't have to be this perfect triangle, but what we do want is a nice long spine. So feel free to grab blocks. You can place them underneath your hands, and I will show you what that would look like. So I could place blocks directly underneath my hands. It's going to help me anchor my heels down. So if you notice, I can get my heels down now that my blocks are underneath my hands. You can also place blocks underneath your feet. This is something you can do now or on your own. But doing that also gets my hips higher. I can go deeper in the shoulders, right? So they both help me in different ways. Okay, so in your downward facing dog, walk it out. Shake your head left and right. Allow the shoulders to melt down the spine. And then you're going to flow back into plank. Lift the heels, roll through the belly. Meet me back in plank. Feel free to adjust if you need. Make sure that your hands are in the same line. Let's rock forward and back on the toes here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Feel it in the body. Walk the dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Good, good, good. And then look to the top of your mat. You can walk your feet to meet your hands all the way at the top. And then heel toe your feet out off the mat. Soft bend in the knees. Grab the elbows. Rock left and right. So make sure you're not in your heels. Rock your weight a little more forward. Notice the sensation in the hammies and the calves. Let the head be heavy. As much as I move, I still feel my hamstrings every day. Good. Release your hands to the floor. Shake your head yes and no. And then bring heel toe, feet together. And then let's do a nice little bend in the knees. I call this, I'm sure there's a proper term for it, but I just call it like a bird on his perch, right? And then he's kind of like tucking the beak into his feathers. Allowing the neck to release. Good, and then exhale, lift your hips high to the sky. You're going to take a nice bend in the knees. You're going to slowly roll up, stacking vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to standing Tadasana for the first time. Woo, meet me in Tadasana. And I will move this so you can see me. I'll be getting a lens pretty soon, so that hopefully I won't have to always move the device. All right. So you are standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Spread the four corners of your feet into the floor. Lift your toes up. Palms forward, shoulders down. Make sure you're not opening up in this rib cage. Keep it nice and stacked. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, hands on the shins or the thighs. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take your right foot back and then drop your back knee. And then inhale, lift up for a nice low crescent lunge. Exhale, elbows down, lift up through the chest. Breathe here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. And then exhale, lift your back knee up and step that right foot to meet the left foot. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, standing. Exhale, palms together. You got this. Inhale, reach. Same thing, other side. Exhale, swan dive all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Notice what you feel. Shoulders down the back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Drop your left knee. Inhale, lift up, low crescent lunge. Pull up in the front body. Good. Exhale, elbows down, lift up through the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the floor or fingertips to the floor. Bring that left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, standing. Exhale, hands to prayer. Right? So yogi's choice for everything. If something we do doesn't feel good, don't do it. If you don't want to do a full vinyasa, you don't have to. All right? So inhale, reach back up. Exhale, go a bit deeper here. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step your right foot back. Good. Drop the back knee. We'll repeat, but a different variation. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. And then you're going to scooch your hips back as you meet me in the half splits. So this leg is straight. You want to anchor that hip down, toesies towards the shin, and lift up through the front body. Right? So feel free to go back and forth between a bow and a lift. Both different sensations. Bow and a lift. Good. Exhale back to your lunge. Lifting up through the chest. And then hands to the floor. Lift that back knee. Shift your weight back to your feet. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, palms together. Shake it all out. And let's do that again, the other side. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Feeling yourself get a little bit deeper in every pose. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step your left foot back. Good. Drop the back knee. Inhale, reach. Feel the nice stretch in the front of that hip flexor. All right, so I'm not completely collapsing. I'm still pulling up. Exhale, hands back down to the earth. Scoot your hips back, lengthen through that front leg, toesies towards the shin. Half splits on the other side. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Feel free to bow if you'd like. Exhale back to your low lunge. Feel that stretch in the front of the hip. Lift your back knee up. Bring that foot to meet the other foot. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, standing. Exhale, hands to prayer. Good. Let's take Utkatasana. our chair pose. So you're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together, sink the hips back, lift up through the chest. So you want to keep your feet parallel. You want to keep your knees directly in alignment with the toes, right? So we don't want the knees coming in. And the more that I lift up through the front body, you want those hips to sink back. Breathe here. Reach over. Let's take that right elbow to a twist over the left thigh. Ooh, press the palms together. Look up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Exhale, release, forward fold. Soft bend the knees. Roll up through the spine. Build some heat. Let's do that the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink the hips back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift up through the front body. Zip up in the lower belly. So you notice the difference between an arched back and then a neutral spine. Breathe here. Feel this in the legs. Exhale, take that left elbow over the right. Keep your knees in alignment and twist. So one knee's going to want to reach forward. You got to work a little harder here to keep the legs where they're at. Breathe, press palms together towards the heart, and then exhale, release, forward fold. Woo! I'm hot now, right? Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Bend the knees, curl up through the spine, all the way up to standing. Taking the hands behind the lower back, feel free to take a soft back bend. So I kind of push the hips forward a little bit, elbows back, lift up through the chest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Shake it out. Release. I like to just kind of reset the body sometimes, like we start to build tension in certain stuff in yoga. So yeah, shake it out. Maybe roll over the feet, release anything in the ankles and the feet. And then we'll go into a full sun salutation. Move my headband. Here we go. Inhale, lift up through the body, up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Yes. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Step or hop your feet to a plank. Yes. Yogi's choice for a full vinyasa, right? Or I'm going to just lower down to my belly. Inhale, lift up cobra or upward facing dog, whatever you feel good in right now. And then roll through the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up nice and high. Keep your hips squared off to the floor. And then exhale, bring the right foot in between the hands. Pull that right hip crease back. Yogi's choice to drop the back knee or rise up to a high crescent lunge. So if you notice my knee is in line with that heel, I pull the right hip crease back. I reach the arms up. Nice strong legs. This is stretching the left hip flexor. You want that back leg straight. Breathe here. Good. Same thing we did in Utkatasana. You're going to bring the palms together. You're going to lean forward. You're going to take that left elbow, hook it over the right, press the palms into the chest for a nice twist. Breathe here, my friends. Feel it. Press away from the mat. Good. And then release your hands to the floor. From here, you're going to step your right foot back. Yogi's choice for a vinyasa, or go straight to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look at the top of the mat. Step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. You got this. Doing great. Inhale, root to rise, standing. Exhale, palms together. Yes, shake it out. I feel the heat. Now, inhale, reach. Let's do the other side. Exhale, release, swan dive. Let the head go. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, hands on the shins or the thighs. Bring the hands to the floor. Step or hop back to your plank. Yogi's choice for vinyasa. I'm going to lower down. Inhale, lift for cobra or upward facing dog. Roll through the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthen through the spine. Notice what you feel. Let the neck be loose. Shoulders down the back. Here we go. Inhale, lift your left leg up nice and high. Square off those hips. Anchor the right heel down. Exhale, bring the left foot in between the hands. Yogi's choice to drop that back knee or rise up, whoop, to high crescent lunge. So lift up through the front body. Feeling this in my back hip flexor. Arms are up above you. You got this. Breathe. Strong, high lunge. Feet pressed into the mat. Exhale, prayer. Lean forward, take that right elbow over the left thigh and twist. Trying to bring those hands in between the chest, or in between the heart, in the middle of the chest. That's what I'm trying to say. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Yogi's choice for vinyasa, or go straight to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Look to the top of your mat, bend your knees, step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Flat back, exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Shake it out. I'm going to do one more variation here of the lunge. All right. I'm going to just turn this way so you can see me. You're going to inhale, lift your right thigh up to the sky. You can bring your hands to your hips. Okay? And feel free to, I naturally point because I'm a dancer. Feel free to flex. And then I invite you to take that ankle bone to the left thigh. If you need to take it there with your hands, feel free. From here, you're going to sink the hips back. So we're in a figure 4 here. Sink the hips back, sink the hips back. Keep your knee and toe in alignment on that supporting leg. Breathing here. Breathe. Whoop. Yep, balance. What's up? Hey, real life. Breathe. See if you can sink those hips back a little bit more. And then inhale, lift up. And then exhale, see if you can float back to a high lunge. Yes, good job, my friends. And then pivot, hey, to warrior 2. So now I'm in this warrior 2. The front heel of the front foot is driving down the center of the back foot. Back foot has the knife edge into the floor. I'm aligning my body to stack over the hips. Look over those front fingertips. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Nice and strong, warrior 2. Feeling the legs. Good, exhale, straighten that front leg. And we're going to take Trikonasana, triangle pose. So we're going to reach those fingertips forward. Ooh, take it down. And then open up in the side body. All right, so both legs are straight. I'm peeling the ribs back. Lifting up through the fingertips. Noticing what you feel. Hey, exhale back to warrior 2. Woo, cartwheel the hands back down. Step that left foot to meet your right. Yogi's choice for vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, standing. Exhale, hands to prayer. Good job, shake it out. Hope you are having fun. We'll do this on the other side and then we'll start to slow down. Okay, so hang with me. Let's do this other leg. I'm just on this side so you can see it. Inhale, lift your left thigh up. And then take that left ankle bone to the right thigh, right? Depending on the leg, like sometimes I need to actually place it there. And then I'm going to sink my hips back for this nice figure four, pigeon-ish, pigeon-esque stretch here. Breathe, sink the hips back, lift up through the chest. Doesn't matter how low you go. If you want to go lower, feel free. Build up that leg strength and an exhale. Yep, this is my weaker side. Lift that leg back up. And then you're going to float back to a lunge. You're going to step that foot back to high crescent lunge. Nice and strong. Notice what you feel. Feel the stretch in the front of that hip flexor, right? The more we open these up, the better we'll feel. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then exhale. Warrior two. Meet me there. Again, a little deep warrior two, looking over those fingertips, drawing up in the front body. Everything stacked in alignment. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Straighten that front leg. Trikonasana, here we go. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward till you can't anymore. Take it down. Peel the ribs, shoulder back, reach up towards the sky. Anchor the feet into the floor, both legs straight. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then come back to warrior two. And then this time, straighten that front leg, turn that foot forward, and meet me facing the wide side of the mat. Yep, and then bring the heels in, a little more in, shaky, shaky, eggs and bakey. Good, bring it in. Good. Before we hit the mat, we're gonna take a quick yogi squat, AKA malasana. If you need a block here, feel free to grab that now. I'll show what it looks like with a block. And then after this malasana, we'll take it easy and ease into the end of our practice. So from here, you're gonna reach arms up. I didn't realize this was crooked. There we go. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, sink the hips down, knees over toes, tailbone down. And then meet me in a yogi squat. So you don't want to be rounded spine here. You want to lift up through the front body, right? The block allows me to find this position without stressing my hips or my back, and simultaneously elbows pushing the knees back and lifting up through the front body. So you can take this. If you want to go deeper, you take two fists and you push them together, and that's really intense for me. So I'm going to stay here. But what the main thing is you want your hips and tailbone towards the earth while you lift up through your front body. This is great for the lower back, for the hip flexors. Honestly, like this is one of those poses we could benefit from doing every day. I don't do it every day, but I do it a couple times a week. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Be with the sensations, right? So this is one of those poses that requires this balance of ease and effort for sure. And then slowly, in the most graceful way, drop the tailbone down. Good job. And then bring the legs in front of you. And we're going to take a nice forward fold. If you have a bolster block or a pillow, feel free to hang over it and just kind of release here. As we start to come to the close of our practice today, good, slowly roll it up. Remove anything. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Draw the navel in and lower down vertebra by vertebra. Woo, yes, my friends. And then hug your knees into the chest. Rock left and right. Shake your head, yes and no. Massage the lower back. Good. Extend one leg down. Hug the other knee in. And then let's quickly extend that leg just for a nice stretch in the back of the leg. Pull anywhere but behind the knee, so maybe behind the thigh or the calf. Pull, pull, pull. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Letting go of any expectation of the hamstrings, how close the leg is to you. And then bend that knee and take a supine twist. So opposite hand to the knee, I twist over and I look opposite direction. So eyes can close here. You can take a few breaths. Good, and then slowly come back to center. Whew, and then bring your hips back underneath you and we will switch. Extend that other leg that we just did, extend it down the floor, hug the knee in, and roll the ankle one way and then the other. And then extend that leg up. Ooh. Say hello to what you feel. Notice it, breathe through it. Your exhale is an opportunity to go deeper in that stretch. So if I want to bring my leg a little bit further, do it on the exhale. That's for any stretch, always on the exhale. Good, bend the knee and supine stretch, supine twist, other side. Don't rush the recovery is something I always say. We're slowing down, but this is just as necessary as everything else in the practice to undo all the doing. Good, and then slowly release, coming out of your supine twist, bringing everything back underneath you, hugging your knees, and then exhale, release into Shavasana. Yep. So taking up space. I'm actually going to end today's practice in Shavasana. I typically get us back to a seated position. But today, I'll end it here. So even once the stream ends or the video ends, feel free to continue laying here, allowing the body to recover. Let go. Come back to the idea of finding something new in the daily routine, right? Lots of repetition, especially during quarantine. Everything's mixed in the same space. So how can you proactively look for newness and joy and space and breath? And you know what? Sometimes, often, all we need is just to do Shavasana at any point in the day where the body starts to ache. Laying down on a hardwood floor is sometimes like the best remedy from sitting in a chair or sitting on the couch. I invite you to take a few deep exhales as we close out the practice. Eyes are closed. Thank yourself for showing up today. Thank your body for carrying you through. It's been an honor to move with you today. My name is Lauren, if I haven't met you. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday and Thursday, same time. Sending you love today. Namaste. Thank you. See y'all later.